Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to make this cactus crochet coasters. I have already made 5 of these. 3 are in the darker shade of green and 2 are in the lighter ones. So I'm going to grab this lighter green and make one more coaster with all of you. Today we are going to use this easy grip pony needle set. This is a set of 9 crochet needle with increasing sizes. We are going to use 2 of these needle, one for making the coaster and the other for making the flower. So for making the coaster, I am going to use this bigger 3.5 mm crochet hook, and for making the flower, I am going to use the smaller one, which is 2.5 mm. So let's start with the bigger crochet hook, that is 3.5 mm, and the lighter green colored yarn. Let's start with a magic ring and let's do 6 single crochets inside this ring. Then let's tighten the ring to have our first round. I'm going to do a slip stitch in the first stitch to close this first round. We have 6 stitches in the first round. Let's begin with the second round with chain 2. This chain 2 will mimic a double crochet. We are going to do one more double crochet in the same stitch. So this stitch will be considered of having 2 double crochets, one of which is a chain 2 and the other is double crochet. In a similar way, we will do 2 double crochets in each of the single crochet that we did in the last round. So in the last round, we had 6 single crochet. We'll do double crochet in each of the 6 stitches, having 12 double crochets in the second round. Once I finish all the 12 double crochets, I'll do a slip stitch in the second chain from the hook where we started with. This is the end of round 2, and now let's move on to round 3. Let's start with round 3 by doing the exact same thing. We'll do the chain 2 first. This will mimic our first double crochet. In the same stitch, we'll do one more double crochet. And then for the rest of the stitches, we'll do 2 double crochets in each stitch. So in the last round, we had 12 stitches. We'll do 2 stitches in each stitch. Therefore, we'll have 24 double crochets in this third round. 23 and 24. So as in the previous round, we are going to do a slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. So that was the end of third round. Now let's begin the fourth round with chain 2, and in the same stitch we'll once again do a double crochet. So this particular stitch has 2 double crochets. In the next stitch, we'll only do 1 double crochet, and in the stitch after that, we'll once again do 2 double crochet. So in this fourth round, we are going to alternate between 1 double crochet and 2 double crochet. In the previous round, we had total of 24 stitches. Here we will have 12 more stitches, which brings the total up to 36 stitches. We are almost at the end of this round. We have last 3 stitches left. We'll do 2 double crochets in this particular stitch. Then we'll do 1 double crochet. We'll end this round with a slip stitch in the second chain that we made at the starting of this round. This finishes our 4th round. Let's move on with 5th and the final round of this coaster. We are going to do the chain 2 in a very similar way as the last round. We are going to do a double crochet in the same stitch. So this particular stitch will have 2 double crochets. We are going to do 1 double crochet in the next stitch and 1 double crochet in the stitch after that. For the next stitch, we are going to do 2 double crochets once again. So here we will have the instructions: 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet throughout the round. This will make additional 12 stitches. In the last round we had 36 total stitches. Therefore in this round we will have total of 48 stitches. I'm almost at the end of the round. I'm going to do 2 double crochets in this stitch. I'm going to do 1 double crochet in the stitch after that, 1 double crochet in this final stitch, and then I'm going to do slip stitch in the second chain that we started with. And here is our finished coaster. I'm going to snip the excess yarn off, and then I'm going to bring it through the loop to secure this. Now let's hide the excess thread in the back side of the coaster. So to do that, you can push your needle through any of the stitches and then pull the excess loop through it. You can do this 2 to 3 times and then snip off the excess. Now let's do the heart detail on this coaster. We are going to use white yarn for this and these wool needle by Pony. So I'm going to take some of this white yarn, about this much amount, and then I'm going to snip it off. I'm going to thread it through this needle. And make a knot at one end of the yarn. Once I decide the placement of my heart, I'm going to bring the yarn through the back side of the coaster, and I'm going to do 2 stitches diagonally so that it looks like a heart. So I'm going to do 1 stitch at the left and the other stitch at the right. I can either make a knot at the back and snip it off, or I can continue to do a second heart without snipping it off. Whatever you choose to do, your back will look similarly. Just remember a few things. 1. Do not pull this very tightly or it will not look pretty. And second, for a cleaner look, you can snip off every time. But if you are a little lazy like me, you can go on like this only. Here I have made a few hearts like this, and this is how the coaster with hearts look. I have intentionally left this space empty so we can make a flower and attach it here. So now let's proceed to make that flower. To make the flower, we'll use 2.5 mm crochet hook from our same easy grip kit, and we'll use a pink yarn. Let's start by doing chain 4. Let me make a simple knot here and then proceed to make 4 chains. Once we do chain 4, we'll do a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. That is the first chain we started with. Then we'll do chain 3 and do a slip stitch in the same stitch where we did the double crochet. That is the 4th chain from the hook. So this is my first petal. Now let's do the remaining petal very similarly. We'll do chain 3, then a double crochet in the same stitch and chain 3, and then we'll do slip stitch in the same stitch. This is now my second petal. Now I'm going to repeat this 3 more times to have total of 5 petals. This is my last slip stitch. Let's close this. I'm pulling this loop through. Then I'm going to cut the yarn off and pass it through this loop and pull it tightly to secure. Now I'm going to attach this flower to our coaster by simple knot. I'm going to use this excess thread to make that knot. I'm going to place the flower where I want its placement to be, and then I'm going to take it a little bit outside of the coaster just for a prettier look. And then I'm going to turn it over, pull the excess thread through and make a simple knot. And then I'm going to hide the ends of this pink yarn inside the coaster itself as we have done previously. So that makes our set complete. We have 3 of the darker color coasters and 3 of the lighter color coasters. Now let's make a coaster holder for this. We'll use the same hook that we started with, which is a 3.5 mm hook. And we'll use a brown yarn for this. Let's start with chain 9. I'm going to do a base stitch here, a simple knot, and then do chain 9. This is going to be my first or the base round. In the next round, let's do a single crochet in the second chain from the hook and then do 6 single crochets in each of the next 6 stitches. In the last 9th stitch, let's do 3 single crochet, and while we do this 3 single crochet, let's turn the work, that is pivot the work around. We are going to continue doing single crochets at the opposite side of the 9 chain. While doing this, we will try to hide this excess yarn in our work. See how I'm doing single crochets while the yarn is still in between my stitches? This will hide the yarn and I will not need to snip it off. So we will do 6 single crochets. I'll do 3 single crochets in the last chain as well. Then I'll do a slip stitch and close this round. We'll move on to the next round. We'll do single crochets in next 9 chains, and in the last chain we'll once again do 3 single crochets while turning the work. We'll work on the opposite side. Same way, we'll do 9 single crochets and 3 single crochet in the last chain. So total we'll have 24 stitches in this round. Once we reach the end of the round, we'll do a slip stitch and close this round. We will move on to the third round. We'll start the third round similarly by doing single crochets in next 11 stitches. We'll do 3 single crochets in the last stitch, work on the opposite side in the same way. So in total, we'll have 28 stitches in this round. At the end of third round, we'll do a slip stitch and we'll move on to the fourth round. In a similar way, we'll do fourth round with 13 stitches, 13 single crochets. Then we'll do 3 single crochets in the last turn, do 13 single crochets once again, 3 single crochets in the last stitch, slip stitch and join. This finishes our round 4. We will have total of 32 stitches in this round. Round 5 is much simpler. We'll do one single crochet in each of the stitch, but we will do the stitches in the back loops only. I'll explain this a little bit more. So in this particular stitch, the loop which is facing towards me or inside this coaster holder is the front loop, and this loop which is facing away from me or outside of the coaster holder is the back loop. While making the SC, I am going to use the back loop only. I am going to continue doing the stitches in the back loops only. This will help me get a texture on my coaster holder that we'll see later. Now this is the round 5. I'm going to continue to do round 6 to 11 in a similar way like this, with 32 stitches in each round and using the back loops only for making single crochets. I'll be back when my 11th round is done. Now I'm almost at the end of round 11. I'm going to do my last single crochet through the back loop only. Then I'm going to do a slip stitch on the first single crochet and close this 11th round. Let's start with round 12. We are going to do the same thing as round 11, but now we are going to work only in the front loops. So we'll do a single crochet in each of the stitches, each of the 32 stitches, to have 32 single crochets in the round 12. But we will work in the front loops only. When you do this, you will start seeing the texture I was talking about previously. We are going to do rounds 12, 13 and 14 like this. I have now finished the round 14, and now you can see a distinct difference in the texture here. We were doing in the back loops only for the bottom part and in the front loops only at the top part. You can see a very specific line which has developed here. Now we are going to close this. I'm going to pull a little yarn to create a loop, snip off some yarn, pull the yarn through the loop and then secure it tightly by pulling it. I'm going to hide some of the yarn in this coaster holder and then snip it off. Here is our finished product. Let's place all the coasters inside the coaster holder and see how it looks. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to share your creations with us in the comments down below. If you have any doubt, don't hesitate to ask. We'll definitely get back to you. That's it for today. Thank you. Bye bye.